Hello, y'all, and welcome to Jackalope Tales, Urban Legends, and Music, where we uncover, is it real or is it a jackalope tale? I'm your host, Charles Mooney.
And I'm Lisa Umbarger. And also with us today, our production crew, Jenny.
Hello.
Jeannie.
Hi.
Natalie.
Hello.
And on the board, our favorite jive turkey, Sam.
That's me. Yummy. I love turkey.
You do love turkey?
I actually don't. Deal with it.
That's right, because it's our Thanksgiving episode.
Yep, it is. This is the Thanksgiving episode, and some people are really beat down by the holidays. But there's some musicians who take it to another level, and not many can compare and compete with the festiveness of Mariah Carey and Huey Lewis.
Oh.
And we're going to talk about that today. Do you like Thanksgiving, Charles?
I do like Thanksgiving. Of course, the food, all the stuff that goes along with it.
Family drama.
Yeah, there's always got to be a little bit of family drama. Now, the big question, though.
Yep.
Cranberry sauce, can or fresh?
Our family, there are people who have different opinions, so we do both.
Ah, that's funny.
So we have the regular made from scratch cranberry sauce and
then the one that's shaped like a can.
There's one person who wants the canned kind.
Yeah, one person?
One person, and for that one person, we have to have the canned. And you glop it out of the can, and it's still got the rings.
Yeah, it makes that
yeah, and it's still got the
sound,
shape of the can.
Yes, yeah, it's classic.
Embossed in the...
That makes for great Thanksgiving. Everyone's happy at your house.
Yep. And
no oyster fucking dressing.
No oysters ever.
Good job.
Yep, and pumpkin pie with Cool Whip. And it has to be Cool Whip. It can't be like Walmart brand.
Great value whip.
Yeah, it can't be great value. It's got to be regular Cool Whip because it tastes different.
Oh, it does.
It tastes right.
Oh, God, I'm already feeling hungry.
Speaking of hungry.
Yes.
Let's get into these traditions.
Thanksgiving discussions.
Yep, Thanksgiving traditions.
All right.
I freaking love that these artists get into it so hardcore because for me, I'm not a great cook, so mostly I just show up and bring like rolls or the iced tea. Yeah, I brought iced tea, everybody.
Oh,
so
you're the
cook.
cheap ass on the bringing list.
Exactly, because they know if it's going to be good that I should probably just...
Yeah, exactly. You're just making it easier for yourself and safer for everyone.
No, I bring a charcuterie board now that it's become fancy.
Oh,
so I'll get the little hams and cheeses and stuff. So I'll do that,
yeah.
but I did not cook it. I just made it look pretty by spreading it out on a wooden tablet.
On the back of a blackboard. Oh, God.
So the first story I have, this is about Huey Lewis, as we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And this is called Death by Balloon.
Ooh, okay. Isn't it rumored he's supposed to have a big penis?
Is it?
I think so.
I have not heard this.
Yeah. It's in the news.
Wait, how did you hear this? I'm wondering.
Guys always pay attention to rumors of big schlongs. I think I heard it one time, but that's another episode, I bet.
And they calls it the drumstick.
Oh, and he's probably thankful for it.
Right.
So we're talking about Thanksgiving.
There you go. Way to bring it back around.
Yeah.
Wasn't Huey Lewis in that Robert Altman film? Was it
Yes.
Shortcuts? And I believe you actually get to see.
Yeah, he's
the evidence
pissing
for
into
yourself.
a pond or a river.
That's right.
I
You're on a
forgot
fishing
that.
Yeah. I know, and he was far away, and you could still see it. So, bingo.
I usually look these things up. I'm going to not do that on this one.
Oh.
Yeah, you might not want to.
Not safe for work, huh?
I will say, he has some BDE because to do the stuff that he does with the confidence that he does it, I feel like he's got some big dick energy.
Oh.
It's hip to be square.
Yeah.
Or
It's hip to be long. All right. Back
I think
to...
it's hip to be thick.
Oh!
God. Oh, shit.
All right.
So Huey Lewis, the singer for Huey Lewis and the News, and his family have continued a Thanksgiving family tradition since 1951.
Whoa. That
Yeah.
goes way back.
Yeah, it goes way back.
Dang.
So Huey's grandfather was an attorney and a politician, and he had this great idea, a way to get free publicity for his campaign. He and his wife, Winifred, would volunteer as balloon handlers at the Macy's Day Parade. And they would have a photographer follow them around and take lots of pictures, which they would later use in the campaign trail.
I'd vote for a balloon holder. I would, yeah.
So not only an office holder, but a balloon holder.
A balloon holder, yeah. I like that.
So it's ironic that he used these pictures on his campaign trail because the first balloon that they were handlers for was Bobo the Hobo, which was a drunk Bobo, excuse me.
Was a drunk Bobo.
So the first balloon that they were handlers for was Bobo the Hobo, which was a drunk hobo with X's for eyes.
Oh, God.
And it was a balloon with this tattered attire because it looked like a homeless person, which it was.
Poor Bobo.
Poor Bobo.
Yeah.
And why anyone thought that this would be a great idea for a balloon.
Yeah, to have a homeless-looking person floating through. Oh, God.
This is before PC, obviously.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
But I guess the drunk hobo did not go over well because the next year they recycled it and made it into a baseball player, which they were also handlers for.
Okay.
And then the year after that, it was a fireman.
Wow. I didn't know you could alter balloons, but that's
didn't know
crazy. Either. Okay, yeah.
I guess they painted the costume back on, and the X's for eyes, hopefully they changed
Everyone
that.
had X's for eyes. Oh, poor Bobo got ousted after 1 year.
It's probably good that he did.
Yeah.
When Hugh's sons were old enough to hold the balloon, they took part in the tradition as well.
Oh.
So they continued on. And now I think they have a rule that you have to be 18 to hold the balloons. But back then it was probably pretty much anything goes because hobos and everything, you can do whatever you want.
You can get away with murder.
Right?
Yeah.
Ooh, foreshadowing. So in 1981...
Foreshadow. Okay, yeah.
In 1981, Huey and his dad were on the underdog balloon team, which, by the way, used to be my favorite balloon.
Oh, yeah, I remember underdog.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in 1981, I probably was not watching Underdog, but that was always the balloon that I would always watch for. I love the Underdog one.
The nostalgia aspect.
Yeah. This was the first year that Huey walked in the parade. And he did walk with his dad and his brother.
No.
Yeah, so it was cool. His grandfather had since retired because it takes a little bit of strength to hold on.
Oh, God.
To those ropes.
Right.
And it's a long walk.
Oh, yeah.
Huey continued the tradition with his father even after he became famous.
Really?
Yeah. And he would wear disguises, and very few people knew the secret. His father was a captain on the underdog team for a long time.
What?
And that's the guy that blows the whistles, and he has hand signals to tell you which direction you're going down the road.
That's one of those things you don't realize there's that much involved. Right. You just think you're just holding for dear life onto a balloon to keep it from flying away.
Right. Yeah, mostly I think the balloon captain signals with a whistle to let everyone know which direction they're going and what they need to do.
Yeah.
So Huey had to pay attention to his dad.
Yeah.
But after Huey became famous, he would continue on. He only missed 1 year, and that's because he had a tour commitment. Oh. And they were playing someplace out of town. So
the damn news got in the way.
Fame. He had to go sing Hip to Be Square or something. Or I'm guessing that his disguise that he would wear so no one would know who he was, is he would probably just ditch the skinny tie and the suit that he had the popped up collar and the sleeves pushed up to his elbows, and no one would even know because he looks like just some regular dude anyway, right?
Oh, yeah. One of those late 80s, early 90s.
He puts on a sweater and that's a perfect disguise.
Yeah.
You look like every New Yorker. In 1997, during the parade, high winds caused the Cat in the Hat balloon to hit a lamppost.
Whoa.
It was pretty windy, and part of the post was knocked loose and crashed down on a bystander, and they got a severe head injury, and they were in a coma.
Oh, God. Go there for just a fun Thanksgiving morning, and you end up in a coma? God.
So the parade officials were trying to figure out what to do. The New York cops jumped into action, and they've been waiting for this moment. all the rest of the balloons that were on the route, they pulled them down and started stabbing them and stomping.
Oh, no.
Right. In front of the kids, on TV, everything. I don't remember this in 97.
No.
I don't think I was watching it then.
Oh, my God. So kids are seeing balloons
Yeah.
get stabbed?
Yes. And Huey was part of the Barney team,
Oh,
which was
no.
directly behind Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
And police officers pulled his balloon down and started stabbing it.
Oh, God.
And children were crying and people were freaking out.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I don't think they knew that the Cat in the Hat that was a little bit further up had injured someone and they'd gotten loose from people. And so they just saw this disturbing thing where the New York cops were getting all New Yorkie.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure television went to a commercial or went to the Rockettes.
I don't think they did. I think they were
No?
showing it.
Did they?
And then after they stabbed Barney, they went on to the Pink Panther and stabbed the Pink Panther.
Oh,
Which, you know
crap.
what? I know people could be upset about Barney.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But the
I'm
Pink
with ya.
Panther, he has a really cool theme song.
Oh,
And
man.
don't
And you
mess
had
with-
Peter Sellers represent you in real life. No.
Right.
Oh, God.
What
Yeah.
did Pink Panther do to them?
Not a thing.
But I am pretty sure that they were waiting for that moment to get all stabby with
I know. I'm glad they didn't get their guns out. I mean,
shooting.
good God.
or tase them. And
People caught in the crossfire. Oh, God.
so the parade goers were pretty angry at the cops for this.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were unaware of what had happened up earlier in the parade. And the bystanders got rough with the cops and caused a whole melee
Oh, no.
about killing Barney and the Pink Panther. It was pretty traumatic for everyone who was involved,
Yeah.
especially Huey.
Poor Huey.
So their family tradition ended in 1997
Oh, wow.
at the death of Barney because it was traumatic.
Oh, God.
So ended almost 50-year tradition because
Of
New York
violence.
cops got stabby
Yeah.
with Barney.
That just killed Thanksgiving.
And basically
And the balloon.
the balloon.
Yeah.
Killed Thanksgiving, the balloon, and basically balloon animals ruined Thanksgiving in 1997.
Oh, I wonder if there was like some voice of Barney going, "Ugh," and I don't know if that Barney, but yeah, I'm getting
It works.
stabbed, and I'll
Works.
give it. I'll go with it.
What's that Barney song?
Was it the "I Love You"?
Yes.
You love me.
That would be okay. So
Oh my
this
God!
could
as
be a
the
really
cops are
good.
stabbing.
Yeah. So play that music, and you got a new horror movie.
Oh.
Can you imagine? It starts getting dark,
Oh.
and Barney starts deflating. I
Yeah.
love you. You love me. It would be scary.
I think we've got something we need to start trying to raise money for.
I think so too.
Yeah. We need to get to work on that one.
The Barney balloon horror movie.
Oh, God. Yeah. Speaking of horror movies, I'm gonna talk a little about good old Mariah Carey.
She's a favorite.
Diva.
Of
Big time diva.
Mhm.
Yes. In fact, it turns out that she is a big fan of Thanksgiving. Go
I can see
figure.
that.
Let's go into this. It's going to be an interesting one. In this glamorous world of singer Mariah Carey, Thanksgiving isn't just a holiday. It's a grand celebration of excess and extravagance. She seems to put everything over the top, whatever she does.
She probably has oyster stuffing.
Oh, God. No, please don't ruin Thanksgiving with that. But she probably has 10 different dressings you can choose from, knowing her. But Mariah loves nothing more than gathering her entire family together at her home on the day of Thanksgiving, and they revel in the spirit of gratitude and indulge in the most lavish feast imaginable.
It might be weird.
There's got to be so many things to choose from for the feast. Turkey stuffed donuts. Who knows? The interesting thing about this, though, is before they get into this whole big feast for Thanksgiving, Mariah has a peculiar tradition that sets her Thanksgiving apart from all the other regular Thanksgivings that we celebrate.
Okay.
So every year before the massive feast that they partake in, Mariah takes charge and leads a reenactment of the historical meeting between the Pilgrims and the Native Americans. Now, I don't know if Mariah actually says the term Native American.
I'm sure she doesn't.
Yeah, I'm sure she goes with other words that were used in the past. But we'll refer to the Native Americans. Now, she takes great pleasure in assigning roles to her family members. She decides who's going to be the Pilgrims and who are going to be the Native Americans.
Lord.
Now, there's a point or a purpose to her choosing who she chooses. The twist on her reenactment is she will choose the family members that she doesn't particularly like or she's pissed at them, and she makes them the Native Americans.
Oh, no.
Now, if you're in good with Mariah, you're going to be a pilgrim. But
Did she give them beads?
Oh, we'll get to the gift bag.
Okay.
Now, she includes everyone at the party. She even uses all 8 of her Jack Russell Terriers. She's got 8 dogs. And she attaches little gobblers around their heads so that they have a little thing hanging off their chin, and she lets them run around representing the wild turkeys in the field.
I realize that this is not our Christmas episode, but please tell me that there's a follow-up at Christmas that she makes them the 8 reindeer.
Oh, that would be so awesome.
One with a red nose. Yeah.
Yes.
And so with all this pressure put on who's going to be Native American and who's going to be a pilgrim, it really makes all the relatives nervous to go to this Thanksgiving celebration because no one wants to be the Native American. That just means you're in bad with her.
Man, this is like the Godfather.
Oh, I know. She's such a... God, I want it
She's
my way.
Right, controlling brat.
Yeah, you could see her saying, put on this feather right now.
Pilgrims are so freaking good anyway.
Oh, yeah, right.
Is she like the sexy pilgrim?
Oh,
Where it's like a
God.
bodice?
Can you imagine where it's like the skirt is real short and,
Right.
and she wears that little black hat
I feel
with
like
the little buckle on it?
She hasn't mixed up who the good and the bad guys in the story are.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I think they don't do this anymore in
Well,
elementary schools.
She read the kid version. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't actually tell that version anymore in at least the more progressive elementary
no.
schools.
Mariah Carey's Thanksgiving pageant. That's what it should be called. Un-PC. Mariah Carey, very un-PC.
When you know
Thanksgiving
the
pageant.
history aspect of this, you're like, oh, you feel like you're so Native American side because those pilgrims were screwing the Native Americans over.
But the men wore tights too.
Now, here's the thing, though, is that Nick Cannon, Mariah's ex-husband, he, in fact, had been a Native American for the last 3 years of their 6-year marriage.
I can't believe Nick went along with this. That's so insane. I don't understand why her family goes along with this.
Are you suffering from high-quality podcasts? You see, quality podcasts stimulate parts of your brain, leading to an irksome condition called thinking. But suffer no more, my friend. Introducing Discount Storytime's blend of fictional nonsense and rancid gibberish to provide soothing relief. Try Discount Storytime today. Available on most podcast catchers and at discountstorytime.com.
Consult your healthcare provider before listening to Discount Storytime. Not intended to treat unicyclitis, pickleball liver, or jittering expectations.
Now, what's worse than being a Native American in Mariah's pageant is that Nick is also told by Mariah that he's the Native American that takes care of the reservation. So he has to stay at the teepee and not be a part of the historical meeting reenactment.
What? This is the most stupid pageant ever.
And she just makes him stay there over where the Native American
She is abusive.
area is.
She is abusive, and she's a horrible person.
Well, it got to the core of Nick. So it got to the point he dreaded the holiday of giving thanks. because he just knew what was coming. And he couldn't stand the thought of every Thanksgiving sitting in a teepee while the rest of the family enjoyed the comforts of the Pilgrim settlement.
Wait, so he didn't get dinner?
Well, no, he would get dinner, but while everyone is doing the reenactment and greeting and talking, he had to sit and take care of the reservation.
Okay.
You know. Now, Nick decided he'd had enough of being assigned the role of the Native American under Mariah's pageant, which was part of his reason for divorcing Mariah. Because when they divorced, it was noted that it was due to irreconcilable differences.
Right.
That was probably part of it.
And he had reservations.
Oh, yes. You asked earlier, why the hell do the family members partake in this thing?
Yeah, I want to know. Why would they keep coming? Because this
Well,
is abusive.
Of course, after they go through this whole process of this stupid pageant, at the end of the reenactment, everyone then gathers for the big feast where Mariah then presents everyone with a goodie bag, and the goodie bag is shaped like a small teepee, and each are filled with blanket and beads.
Okay.
So it's
Taking it a little far.
I know. It's a whole nother
is it like a
Thanksgiving
fancy-
level. I don't
you know?
know. I haven't seen one, but some beads and a blanket.
Okay.
Yeah. But the only reason the family really goes above all else is because Mariah arranges to have a fleet of limos to take her and all the family members shopping the day after Thanksgiving. Black
Friday.
Of course. Mariah arranges to have certain shops closed to the public to let her family go on a shopping spree.
Okay.
This is what makes Mariah so excited about Thanksgiving. It's the start of the Christmas holidays and her chance to make a shit ton of money on her song, All I Want for Christmas Is You. And you know what? That song, I think they're declaring it the most popular Christmas song now.
Really?
But it was released in 1994, and since then it has earned her $60 to $100 million on that song alone.
Dang, let's write a Christmas song.
Oh, we got to.
I don't
know.
want all the Pilgrim Native American part of it.
No.
I just want to write a Christmas song that people like.
That just
Maybe
and
about,
generates us money.
how about the cops stabbing balloons? Is that festive?
With Barney getting slashed. Oh, God. That definitely made for a fun parade. But then this also makes for a fun event, too, doesn't it? Oh, such a mess.
That's so crazy.
Oh, I know.
No words for this because it's just such a crazy thing. And can you imagine? Okay, so
It
how do
is.
they find out? Does she send them do they have to dress? They dress the parts of the Pilgrim.
Oh,
and
no.
the Native American.
She has the costumes there.
Okay, so
Yeah.
are they alerted when they arrive, or do they get something in the mail that says? Do you know?
They just get of course, the invitation. But then, of course, they don't know what they're going to be until they get there. Oh, yeah.
Lisa, I like to imagine that it's like in Harry Potter when the owl sends you your letter, except it's a turkey.
A turkey. Shows up and is like, ooh. You get that. Oh, a pilgrim sorting hat.
Oh, yeah.
You put on the pilgrim hat. And it tells you if you're Native American or a pilgrim.
Yeah.
Not pilgrim, not pilgrim, not pilgrim.
So the poor family suffers until they get to go on their shopping spree.
This is insane.
It's a whole nother level.
What does she do it to her kids too?
Oh, the kids are all involved. All the kids are pilgrims. Yeah. And
Unless
so-
they piss mommy off.
Oh.
This is worse than the wire hangers mommy.
You don't want to piss her off like a couple months ahead of Thanksgiving because
Holy
she'll
cow.
remember it, I'm sure. That's the fun of Thanksgiving for Mariah.
Thank God my family is just semi-normal.
Yeah. All we worry about is where did the cranberry sauce come from?
Right.
A can or is it fresh?
Charles, you talk.
Okay. I think I can make it through this one, but you're putting pressure on me now. So welcome to the Lone Star Salute.
My favorite part of the show.
Oh my gosh.
Heck yeah.
We get to celebrate those people that are pissed.
And give 1-star reviews.
Yep, 1-star reviews to bands, recordings, concerts.
Venues.
Yeah. You got to be pissed to do a 1 star.
Right.
To put the effort into it?
That's why we made the Texas flag.
Yeah. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. So I've got a 1-star review. It bashes Mariah and one of her songs.
Okay.
Yeah. This was done by Captain Magnanimous.
Sounds enjoyable.
He poses the question, Mariah Carey requires a cunting, doesn't she?
I don't even know what that is, but okay.
Yeah, I think it's just a bashing. Not for her annoying whine on every song, not for her making songs with D-list rappers in a futile attempt to appear relevant, not for having an ass the size of a beanbag, not due for her tantrums and crazy demands at venues.
Okay.
Now, this was an interesting one he threw in, too, and this is actually a quote she did. Not for her quote, which she said, whenever I watch TV and see those poor starving kids all over the world, I can't help but cry. I'd love to be skinny like that, but not with all those flies and death and stuff.
What the hell is the matter with this woman?
This woman requires a cunting when you
Oh, my God.
hear something expressed as sad as that.
I am never going to sing along with another Mariah song.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I've read that quote is a jackalope tale, by the way.
Oh, is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's real.
Yeah. And then also, not for the fact that although being half a century old, she still behaves like an over-sexualized teenage girl, despite increasingly looking like a drunken transgender granny. Not for any of these reasons. You know why she's being cunted? That fucking song. All I Want for Christmas Is You.
But that's a cash cow, so, I mean, I can't kick her in the crotch. Everyone wants to write that song then, or sing that song.
Oh, God.
What
They're
the
just
heck?
jealous.
I know. I think that's jealousy.
And
Granted, it's
then-
Mariah doing it, but
Oh, I know. I know. From reenactments to all this stuff. She's got a crazy life.
you know when she hits that really high note, it sounds like air
Oh,
going out
God.
of a balloon. So maybe it's Barney dying. So if we take that high note and
Wait,
put,
speaking of balloons being popped, that is confirmed to be a jackalope tale.
Oh,
It was apparently a satirical interview, but it took off like wildfire.
Oh, my gosh.
wait,
See?
she said it?
No, she did not say it. It was some kind of satirical interview for a publication called Cupcake.
So satire means that she said it?
They're saying that
kidding.
it was, let's see. After a satirical and fictitious Mariah Carey interview appeared on the internet in a web publication called Cupcake in early 96, the damaging sentence cited above was lifted from it and quoted in Vox magazine, from which the British newspaper The Independent picked up the story in May. So it was a satirical, fictitious interview. It doesn't say whether they interviewed her and it was satirical or whether it was like someone else posing as her. That's not clear in this article, but either way, it was not real.
Whoa. That was a harsh statement, so I'm glad it's not
I'm
real.
so glad it's either because I was like, what?
That was one of those where it's, oh, my God, and she still is performing?
Right.
Oh,
She's singing We Are the World and saying that.
yeah. Oh, God.
Did she sing on We Are the World?
I think she was too young then, because that was like the age of Lionel Richie, Wham, Boy George. Yeah,
She wasn't on it.
Yeah, she was a baby. But what do you have for your
Well,
1-star salute?
Huey Lewis and the News. This is a review of I Want a New Drug. And this reviewer's name is Mrs. Phyllis Banks. And Mrs. Banks says, wow, just what youngsters need to hear these days. Not just more of the old drugs, but new drugs. Kids today are never happy with anything. They are just high as kites and ungrateful for what they have.
Damn kids.
What these kids need is a good haircut, a little discipline, and a lot of church. When you have Jesus in your heart, you don't need drugs. Drugs are everywhere. I guess the world is going to hell in a handbasket, strapped to the handlebars of Huey Lewis's bike. Here's the news about Huey. Get a real job and stop dealing drugs.
Whoa. Man, she was taking him literally.
Mr. Banks I bet you Mr. Banks is a happy dude.
Oh, God. Or he takes a lot of drugs.
Right.
Just to hang in there.
Oh, man.
That was really informative and a good Thanksgiving episode.
It is. I feel grateful and thankful.
I am grateful. Yeah, I am thankful.
And I would like to have some gravy now.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
But you know what the gravy is?
What?
A happy ending.
It's that happy ending.
Happy ending.
You gotta love a happy ending.
We're going to recap our stories for today.
Yeah.
Death by balloon. In 1997, the Macy's Day Parade,
Yeah.
there was a person who was hit by the Cat in the Hat balloon, and they were injured. I do not think they died.
Oh,
I think they
hope
were in a
not.
coma for a month.
Dang.
And the whole Huey Lewis thing is oddly disputed.
Oh.
So we're not sure if his family started this tradition or not.
Gotcha.
So it was in Parade magazine. Do you remember that? It used to
Oh
come in the
my
Sunday
gosh,
paper.
yes, with the Sunday paper.
But there's a lot of back and forth on whether this really happened with Huey's grandfather. What's his name? But yeah, there's a lot of dispute whether that was his grandfather or a different Huey or
Right.
Hugh.
Okay,
So-
gotcha. And then the story on Mariah Carey, I found issues all across the board. Some are like, no, there's no such thing as this.
It sounds so extravagant and crazy. It could be her.
It's another level.
But it's also like family members could be taking Barney
taking
Stabby.
pot shots.
Yeah.
At. Yeah, that's true. Because she's made 60 to 100 million on one song.
So
There
maybe
could-
Nick Cannon was like, I got some grievances here.
Yeah, I'm expecting some checks around Christmas time. But yeah, so we're not quite sure on what is real and what's a jackalope tale on that one.
Man, you gotta love Thanksgiving and the tales that go along with Thanksgiving.
Oh, they make very interesting stories. Makes me thankful that we're able to tell them.
So these are possibly jackalopes
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I think everyone should start jackalope Thanksgiving traditions.
Oh, yes.
Some crazy family holiday stuff that you do.
Yeah. And let us know for the next Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah, I think it would be fun to start just some kind of wacky tradition.
Yes.
Because Thanksgiving's already wacky enough. You have to bring all your family members in.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes it's tense. My family all pretty much gets along, which is good. I'm going to come up with a crazy tradition and make everyone do it.
You really
I'm not
should.
going to make them dress up like pilgrims.
No. That's too much of a pain in the ass.
But it might
Yeah.
involve balloon animals.
Oh, there you go.
So we might do something like that.
Oh, I'll want to know about it. Maybe
Okay.
I'll be invited.
We'll post on our page. Yes, they know. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Do you have a Pink Panther outfit?
I'll be looking for one right after we finish.
Perfect. Sold. So everyone, thank you for listening. Please follow the links on our show notes and find us on all the socials.
Yes, subscribe, rate, and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and anywhere else you get your podcast.
And join us next time as we question, is it real or is it a jackalope tale?
No, I don't have a turkey.
It's not a good turkey noise.
I don't have a turkey noise. There you go.
That's the perfect That's for Christmas. The donkey's for Christmas. Mary rode in on the donkey. Mary rode Joseph's ass all the way to Bethlehem.